urge to be the most lovable person in the room, right? To be the most kindest person in the room, and to be the most happiest person in the room, as well as to be the most positive person in the room, whichever room it might be. It might be that the sales room where I was in, or probably the retail room where I was practicing my optometry, or the hospital where I was practicing my optometry, or the academics. Whichever room I am I the kindest, am I the most lovable, and am I the most positive person in the room? That was the only thing that remained constant, except that everything changed.
So before we begin, I just wanted to know that how you bumped into this optometry. Are you really planning to be an optometrist since your school days, or was it something other potential to become some other field? So how did you bump into this field?
Oh well, it was again. Sorry to probably disappoint many of the people who think that I chose optometry by choice. It was by chance. And but that was a great by chance. I would call it as luck by chance, because I was so fortunate to be in this field and of this service, right? So my calling from the very beginning was to be of service to humanity, and I would love to be a police officer someday, which I was not, and there is a long history of that. We'll not go over there. And then I landed up in optometry. And as I landed in optometry, then it was a fabulous journey. I fell in love with optometry from the very first year of itself, because the moment I knew that I could impact the world with my knowledge of optometry, I started taking it very, very seriously. And then from that particular first year to this year, where probably I've done around 17 years of optometry, every single day has been extremely joyous, extremely happy, and extremely fruitful on this journey of optometry. So it was by chance, then I took it by choice, and because of that choice, it has been an amazing journey so far for the last 17 years.
That's great, and we can verily see this. Like when we as a student see as your career, it feels like you have explored every segments of optometry, if I can say, like the retail segment, the academic segment, and now we are like rocking in the field of corporate. So maybe I would take this as an opportunity to get to know what was your learning from each segment.
Well, to keep it simple, I would probably say change, change, and change. Change is the only thing that was constant throughout, because the world was changing. The learnings about optometry was changing. My salary was changing as well. And so I had to change over time as well myself, right? That's one part of it. And the second part of it was my urge to be the most lovable person in the room, right? To be the most kindest person in the room, and to be the most happiest person in the room, as well as to be the most positive person in the room, whichever room it might be. It might be that the sales room where I was in, or probably the retail room where I was practicing my optometry, or the hospital where I was practicing my optometry, or the academics. Whichever room I am I the kindest, am I the most lovable, and am I the most positive person in the room? That was the only thing that remained constant, except that everything changed. So that was change. If you accept change, you will probably go a longer mile than if you're resistant to accept changes. And they're not easy. I am very sure many of us has experienced that, but they're beautiful in the end. That is all I can say. And that was the only thing that was constant, the change and my attitude towards being the person I wanted to be in that room. Rest, everything was changing.
Perfect. Like there is a very famous saying that the change is the only constant. As you correctly said, sir, that you have explored many segments of the optometry. So if I deep dive more into this segment, if you can share your learning session from each of the career path, let's say one from retail, one from academics, and maybe one from the corporate life.
Oh, yeah, of course, why not? Thank you for that question. So let me start with retail. Retail is a great field to start your journey with, right? Because you are like, I felt like James Bond for sure once I was in retail. Somebody comes with a fixed mindset, I can change their mindset and make them choose what I think is best for them. Oh my God, look at the power that I have in retail, right? And in retail, you have to keep on learning. The first thing you will learn is the difference between prescribing and dispensing. That's the first thing. That's a reality check that you're going to have when you're in retail. Then you're going to learn about some amazing brands, and you would love to learn about the lifestyle of your patients, with which you are going to give them a customized solution for the problem they are having. And that's how you become a consultant optometrist in a retail. Plus, you have to be techno-commercial in nature in terms of that particular store. because
Sure.
you have to generate revenue for that store as well, right? So
Yes.
that was the learning from the retail I had. And because of
Yes.
my early exposure in retail, I understood that optometry is not about technicality, but it is about the
Hmm.
techno-commercial part of it as well. And
Yes.
selling is not bad. Selling is life-changing, both for the person who is selling and to the
And
person
for
who
the
is selling
buy.
it to,
Yes.
because we are solving a real-time problem that a person is facing and making them, realize the full potential of their lives by solving the problem. Right. So that was my learning from retail. And
Yes.
then from academics, it is more and more of judging, the judgment of things that comes from academics, right? You don't take anything on the face value, you deep dive into it and find out why, and why. Now, you're not interested
Yes.
with the how and what, but you're more interested with the why when you go into
Why?
the academics. And in the corporates, it's a bigger game. So what I did for the smaller store, now I do it for a bigger region or the entire India in that way.
India.
But you have to be techno-commercial in nature. You have to be very, very ethical in your decisions. You are dealing with a lot of people, so you have to learn real people management skill, right? When you are
Yes.
dealing with a bigger team, it's not very easy to be the most lovable person in the room, the kindest person in the room, and the most positive
Exactly.
person in the room. But then that's a
Yes.
choice that you're going to make and become one over a period of time. And then you align with the corporate goals. Every corporate has their
Hmm.
own goals. So first and foremost, when you join a corporate, you need to adjust yourself to those goals of the corporate, delivers
Hmm.
on that goal, and also in the real time help people through your decision making. So your decision making
Yes.
becomes much more powerful when you're in a corporate. But that's how you can change the world, right? Because in a corporate, it's a great feeling because you're working with different strata of people from the society, and you have a
Yes.
real time to impact their life and real time opportunity to do that. And so that's what I learned from corporate. So these are the three things I learned, and my acumen, my skills changed over the period of time as well, from my dispensing skill to my presentation skill to my economic analysis skill to my Excel skill, and my talking to the various management people. The skill to
Hmm.
talk to them is very different from presenting to a audience. So that's
Audience.
all
Yes.
changed over the period of time. But the idea was to be positive, to be impactful, and to be knowledgeable, and to be lovable in the room. That remained constant throughout.
That's true, sir. Like as you correctly say, to be a most lovable person and to be most happy person is the key point, which is has to be constant in all the phases of your life. And just to moving one step ahead, like you have done almost all the things right in the field of optometry. And apart from this, you have been a most fitness freak person I have ever seen. Like you runs a marathon, you runs, you do cycling and you do all the sports activity. And many of our generation people thinks that we don't have time. Like we go to hospital, we go to X place, and once we come back home, we are tired. I don't know why. And when we look at your post, we see that Rupam sir is running 21 kilometers today. If it's 26 January, he'll be running 26 kilometers. And so this is so fun and to be a very inspiration point for us also. So I just really want to know the secret because like as you said, you are doing all the job. Like you have done everything. So how are you managing this extra time for your health and this fitness part?
Well, two things. One is if I bifurcate this into 2 points, right? The first
Hmm.
point is obviously somebody is watching and getting inspired. Like you said, you get inspired by my post, right? And I can't
Yes.
let you down.
Yes.
I simply can't let you down. So I have to get up and do it for the sake of you in the first place,
Hmm.
right? And then the second part of it is I also do it for myself, because
Hmm.
sports has a lot of good things that it gives to a human being. Just probably
Yes.
because you spoke about running and cycling, they're all cardio exercises, right? So if you're
Yes.
doing those exercises, I will be able to defer cataract, defer glaucoma, defer AMD, and probably
Yes.
avoid getting Alzheimer's in my eyes, right?
Hmm.
Plus, what is going to happen is my daughter is going to learn from this. He is going to see his father and learn, because kids learn by imitating people, not by
Yeah.
hearing or reading. They learn by
By
imitating. So if
yes.
my daughter imitates me, she is going to have a good character building. Her grade in the school will be good, her attendance will be
Yes.
good, her cognitive performances will be good, and her memory will be good. So it benefits the entire family. So I do it for her as well, and I do it for myself, because I just don't want to leave this world because of my mistake. I want to be the
Hmm.
healthiest possible person in the capacity
Yes.
that I have, that much my
Hmm.
body can take, and live a long and happy and healthy life consciously, and not just die because of my bad habits, because I smoke, I drink. I don't, nothing of those. The
Yes.
reason for that is because I wanted to live a long and happy life, so that I can impact the world in a positive way. So that's the reason for that.
Yes, but still I am like, we feel that how are you getting the time? Like, because every time when we spend 8 to 10 hours at our professional life, working life, and once we reach home, we don't have energy to do anything. We feel lazy, we feel we have the excuse that it is winter right now, we cannot wake up early, or else. So maybe a short tip that we can implement and be the fittest person as you are.
Well, the fitness and the bad habits have one thing in common, and that is dopamine secretion in the body, the happy hormones,
Yes,
right?
happy. Yeah.
So you have to start off by building that dopamine over a period of time. So first
Yes.
time you exercise, don't think I'm going to exercise for 30 minutes. Not required.
Hmm.
Just exercise
No.
for 10 minutes.
10
10
minutes.
minutes for 3 months.
Hmm.
And do as simple exercise as possible as you can, right? Because that
Yes.
is going to give you a good amount of dopamine secretion over a period of time, and that dopamine is going to build up over a period of time. And then you will require 15 minutes to get that same punch, 20 minutes to get that same kick, and 30 minutes to get that same dopamine level in your body. And that's how your fitness regime is going to build up. Similarly, how alcohol gets into your body, or similarly how smoking gets into your body. So if you are going to build it slowly and steadily for exercise as well. Don't jump. Don't do so much of exercise that your hands and legs pains the next day and your mind says, please forgive me, I don't want to go to do this again anymore. Right? So the idea is exercise should be very, very pleasurable, and you should know the why of doing it. If you know the why, it's a motivation as well. Then you build onto the dopamine. And this is not just dopamine, but all the happy hormones that gets into it, and the reduction of cortisol in your body as well. So that makes you really, really go again and again back to the same workout routine over a period of years. So the idea is start small to get it big. So probably when I started my running, I was probably somewhere around 110 kilos, right? And it just started off like I was very, very
Literally
shy to
110.
go into a gym. Yeah, so I started running.
Okay.
And it built over the time from that 110 kilos, I was unable to run even 500 meters, right? So it was like 1 minute of running, 1 minute of walking, 1 minute of running, 1 minute of walking. It started from there and slowly and steadily built up over the last 8-9 years to the place I am today. And the idea is don't push yourself too hard. The biggest journey of fitness is to be kind to yourself as well, and get into mental fitness as well, and then get into the physical fitness. If you're mentally fit, your physical fitness is going to come. And mental fitness normally comes from clarity. Be very clear why are you doing this, right? And do it for short 10-15 minutes and then gradually build up onto it. You will be able to sustain it for a very, very long time of your life.
Perfect. And throughout the discussion, the consistency was the main highlight term, that we cannot do it on a single day. Maybe as for example running, it has to be increase meters day by day, and then with being consistent. So yeah, that's a very good learning for us as a junior generation. So thank you for sharing.
And if I may add to it,
yeah.
If I may add to it, some days will be very bad days. Rather, some years will be very bad years. You are running at a peak, and then suddenly there will be a decline in your performance, in your pace, in everything. You will just feel like, oh my God, I am not there anymore, right?
Yes.
That happens to even the top athletes. So the idea is, when you are down, how do you still be consistent? Like you rightly said, we have to be consistent. So how you rightly stay consistent when you are in your down phase is what matters. So it will not be a journey onwards. It will be a journey of curves. You will do great at some years. You will fall down in certain years. Again, you will do great in some years. You will get some injuries over the period of time. That's normal and natural as well.
Yes.
So how do you stay consistent when you are down? How do you stay consistent when you are not feeling like giving it your best? That's what will matter over a period of time. And that will only happen when you are able to, manipulate your hormones in the right way and manipulate your mental health in the right way. You will be able to sustain it for a longer duration of time, and consistency is going to come.
So that is a very important point which you are sharing, that a little push and little consistency is important. Perfect. So just to take this session on the next level, I just wanted to introduce one element which I liked more about you was how spiritually active you are a person. Like when we had a discussion, if you remember, sir, and you have been sharing the stories of Lord Krishna and being a spiritual person. So I just wanted to make it quick so that you can share some spiritual importance in the life, because we discussed about the professional life, our own health we have discussed. So now we'll just see the importance of spirituality. Yeah.
Oh, of course, why not? Thank you. And
Yes.
of course, I remember our discussion, long discussion
Yes.
in the airport, right?
Yes. Yes.
Of course, I remember that. And that also after learning about scleral lenses. Both of us were fellow students at that point of time about
Yes.
scleral lenses.
Yes.
Yes, of
Yes. I
course.
remember.
So first and foremost, if you really ask me, so spirituality is not religion, right? And religion is not spirituality. That's the
Right.
biggest thing that I have learned over a period of time. And
Yes.
spirituality is all about your service that you produce, give to the world, give to other human beings, give to all living beings and non-living beings into the world, right? So
Yes.
once you start giving service, you normally understand yourself much, much more. You can pick up any
Hmm.
religious book in the world, and each and every religious book talks about service to the living and the non-living, right? So
Yes.
it's all about service. So when you get that spiritual mentality, you are more of a giver than a taker, right?
Yes.
This is a very, very important part. Is of late the world has become a world of takers. What is in it for me? What is in it for
Hmm.
me is the most common question that goes out in the world, and
Everyone.
not is
Yes.
what I can give you, right? So the more you become a giver, the more happier you become, the more
Yes.
effective you become, the more impactful you become, the more lovable you become, and the more positive you become, right?
Hmm.
So spirituality helps you to become a giver rather than a taker, and that's why spirituality is important. And you can find spirituality within nature. Hug a tree, that's spirituality. Go out in a walk,
Yes.
that's spirituality. Feed a dog, that's spirituality. Hug a cow, that's spirituality. Or just be present for your family. Even that's a spiritual way of living as well. Be
Yes.
there for your family when they need you the most, or even when they don't need you, you are there for them. So spirituality comes in different forms. The idea is to explore, start exploring. Like fitness,
Hmm.
it has to start from a point and then it gradually grows bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And again, it just helps you to give. The more you are able to give, the more you are able to forgive, the more you are
Yes.
able to forget, and the more you are
Hmm.
able to be the best version of yourself, the most positive version, right?
Yes.
So let's all try to be givers and not takers. The more we are able to give, we'll be able to make this world a beautiful place for everything.
Perfect. So basically, I have a different perspective on spirituality. Spirituality is like loving someone. So what I think that spirituality means that I have to love myself. I have to take care of my body so that I can do best of my service. I can give best of service to my patient. And that loving nature follows for everyone, to our family, to our friends, to our mentors. So that is how I believe spirituality works. It's the main foundation of spirituality is love. That you start loving yourself first, and then you do same for everyone like surrounding you. And that's how you became a happy person, like a genuine happy person. And you don't have to expect anything in return. You're doing this is by your own self. You're not expecting love, the same emotion from the other person. You're just giving them, and hopefully we'll receive also, like if we have the same relation with the person.
So that's amazing way to put it in.
Yes.
So if I summarize what you said in one line,
Yes.
if you have, you can give. So have
Exactly.
it yourself first so that you can
Exactly.
give.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So
Right.
we have to
Thank you
start
for that. That was
loving.
that was insightful.
Yes. Actually. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. And I guess we are reaching the most interesting part of this video by asking you that we recently saw the post where you are sharing a book which has been a mystery for us. Like I was not at all aware that Rupam sir is planning to do something like this. And when I saw the Instagram story, I was literally shocked and happy. How can a person be academically successful? I mean, in terms of professional, being the most fittest person possible, also being the spirituality person, and now writing a book. I just wanted to make sure how many hours you're getting in per day. Do you have any extra hours, or you are having same 24 hours?
No,
So,
probably that will again go back to my why.
okay.
So there is no extra hours, but there is a why, and the why is to probably motivate and inspire people. That I am
Yes.
from a very humble beginning. I am just an ordinary person. So if
Yes.
I can do it, you can do it as well. And if you see, it all started from that. How if I can motivate or if I can inspire somebody even in my small capacity, I would love to do
Yes.
that. And that's why taking to optometry from a very, very positive angle. That was the first thing that I wanted to do in the first place, so that I can have a positive impact on people. And then
Yes.
how I impact the other optometrists who are there or who are in touch with me, who are my seniors, my mentors,
Mental.
my colleagues. And there is no juniors to me. Everyone is my colleague. There is no junior in optometry, so everybody is on the same platform. If I would like to believe it like that, we are all giving service to humanity, right? We are all giving service to our country. We are helping our country to grow economically, as well as we're helping our country to grow in each and every aspect, because once you are a good optometrist, you are able to make good memories, give good memories to people, and also enable them to be lifelong learners. So we're really helping them on that. So it started from that. Then this running journey, 110, I am still running, right? So that is what matters. And I thought of, if I can inspire anybody who is also 110 or 90 or 80 or 60, and they are able to run. If I can, why can't you? It's as simple as that, right? I have no special ability myself, right? So that was the reason again. Then came all of this corporate worlds and everything, that if I can make it, you can make it as well. It's no big deal. It's just hard work, compassion, and how you focus on your why. That's something which is very, very important. Similarly, this book came in a very similar fashion as well. I was sitting and I was journaling for a period of time, and then I thought, okay, from out of that journal, can I write a few experiences that is out there? And then I started writing all of those experiences. And if you see the book, if you read the book, which I know you have already, so you will see that it's all real life, real time things that came out from my journal that I normally observe about people, misusing their mobile phones, or probably what I wanted to know from the universe, right? Why I fail and why I succeed. That's another part of it. And then probably what I would love my daughter to know when I'm not there in this world, when I'm gone, how do I still want her to live her life? So it all came from those journaling. I write a journal every day, and I normally call it as a gratitude journal, that I'm happy about so many things I have, right? And I'm so fortunate to have so many things I have. And let me not crib about things I don't have, because I have more than enough that I can ever want or ever wanted from my life, right? So it came from that journal. And I thought, if I could share this with people, it would work. Now, I never knew whether this book is going to get published or not. It happened, and I just got a news that, it was listed in Amazon. It was done by the publisher themselves, which is Bookleaf Publishing. And they said, now it is Amazon, this is your ISBN code, and this is your book out there. So that's how it all started, from me trying to inspire people that if I can, you can as well, and give it a shot and see how it works. And it came from that why of inspiring people, spreading positivity as much as I can. And from that, it just came. And it came from a daily habit of writing a journal, and what I felt the most out of the journals, it made into this book with the help of 21 poems that I wrote.
Yes. It was a very short and sweet book when I received the Amazon parcel. And I remember the second poem, which is based on this only. It says that make a choice to write your journal every day. It is difficult at the first and easy thereafter. So they say make a choice to get healthy and exercise every day. It is difficult at first and easy after. So that's how we have been discussing since a long time. So the first step is difficult, and once you do that, maybe second, third would be more easy as compared to the first.
Yes, of course. So it's like doing yoga, touching your feet without bending your knees. You'll not be able to do it first time if you have not practiced for some time. But second time and third time, you'll be able to touch your feet easily.
Yes. And that is how everything works. On the first attempt, you may not get the job, you may not get the success in the life. But if you keep doing again and again with the positive attitude, you may finally achieve that one day. Yes.
Of course.
Perfect. So I wanted to know, what was your favorite poem out of those all 21? Because my personal favorite was the Make a Choice, second number, and the last one, Message to the Daughter. These two poems touched me a lot. I was able to relate more. And which is your favorite?
So my favorite is Why I Fail, because that's a good reminder to me that why I fail. And that's a good reminder to everybody who is reading this book that you will fail in life multiple times.
Yes.
In the world of Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, where we choose to post our success, there are a lot of failures behind each and every success that people post over there. Even if you think they're the most successful people that you've ever seen or ever met, right? So Why I Fail is one of my most important poems that is very close to my heart, right? The second one is Watches and Optometry, because these are two also very, very good part that I have read about, right? And the last two poems are very, very personal. The
Yes.
second last poem is about me and my wife, falling in love with each other when we were kids, and how do we choose not to give ourselves other options. And that is something I really believe in. The more options you give to yourself, there is always a problem. And I don't know whether you've heard this. There is a story, and allow me to tell you that story for 2 minutes.
Yes, please, sir.
One of the most successful shoemen in the world. He's a shoe salesperson.
Yeah.
And everybody said, "How are you so successful?" Because he was to sell shoes to everybody who stepped into his store. And so everybody wanted to know what was his success. And he said, "I had just one success, and that is lesser choices." So whenever a client comes into his shoe store, he will bring two shoes and keep it with them, right? And then what is going to happen is, and then the customer is going to say, "Okay, can you show me the other shoe as well?" Then he would say, "Which one of these shall I remove?" And take one back and bring another one. So there is always a choice of two and not of three. Yes. And because there is a choice of two, you will always have a clearer objective in your mind about which one you want to choose, and the sales used to close faster. Right? Similar thing for our life as well. In relationship, in job, in our choices, right? All the choices in life. The lesser choices we give to ourselves, the better it is. In terms of, we will not sway from our actual goal or our actual path or our actual why, because we know the choices that we are making. And nowadays, when people fall in love, and there is a huge number of breakups and a lot of breakups in both married life and in a love relationship, that is very close to my heart, because we did not give each other choice, rather than loving each other again and again and again over the years, right? And then our daughter came, and it was a blessed life thereafter. So that is very close to my heart as well. And refusal is one of the poem which is very, very close to my heart, because everybody says, now you're getting old, so you have to stop running. You are getting old, you have to stop cycling. You are getting old, you can't go to the gym anymore. You can't do new certification course anymore, right? So that's where I refuse to give up. And completely I refuse to give up. And last poem, which is a letter to my daughter, is also very, very favorite to me. Very close to my heart, because it's written to my daughter, and that's why it is very close to my heart.
She is so lucky and blessed to have a father like you. Like, when she will be grown up as an adult, she will get the essential pearls which you have given to her in terms of everything, the nurturing, the book written, or like everything. So it was a very great summary of your life, which we see in the last 15-20 minutes of the video. And we just came to the end of this video, right? So I just wanted to ask few questions before we stop. First would be like, what piece of advice you would give it to yourself when you were around in teenage of your life, 20 years or maybe even younger than that? Any sets of advice which you can give it to yourself?
Yes, why not? Why not, of course. So probably a couple of advices I would have given myself was, one, not to take life so seriously and not to center life around me. That was the most important thing that I've learned over a period of time. That life is not to be taken very, very seriously, because it changes, and not to make me the epicenter of everything, because there are other people who should be considered about, and I should not be the center of all the thoughts that are in my mind. That's one thing. And I would have probably made myself a bit wiser if I'd have read a few more books at my 20s. So that are the two advices I would have given myself: to read a few more books, and also, to take life a little less seriously than I had have taken them at when I was 20.
Correct. But sir, like presently the situation is that everyone has a different life thing, and everyone posts something on social media. So our generation gets a lot of FOMO. You must be aware of this term, fear of missing out, right? Like, when your work colleague goes to abroad for their education or for their, new field, and we stay in India, we get like, he's doing the best of his life. We are just stuck in this phase. And I have seen many of my students also, and many of my colleagues also, who feels the same. So what would be the core element to focus on this?
So that's a great question, Monil, and I would love to answer that question in probably a most precise manner that I can, right?
Yes.
So the first and foremost is find out who you truly are, right? If an elephant is thinking that climbing a tree is a FOMO, like the monkey, the elephant is losing out on who he or she is, right? So every one of us has our different characteristics. Every one of us have our different abilities. And going abroad has its own perks. Staying in your own country has its own perks, right? Seeing
Yeah.
your parents day in and day out every morning is a blessing that you
Actually.
cannot discount. And that's
Yeah.
not going abroad. While going abroad, you will learn a lot of things from different cultures. That's also something that cannot be discounted. But finding out who you are, what you really want, and not get affected by the glamours of the social media is something very, very important. So if you really want to know that person's struggle, pick up the phone, give them a call and ask what is happening with your life.
Yes.
And then you will find out they have hardships as well. So the first and foremost thing is, a lion cannot be a rat. A rat cannot be a lion, but both of them are equally important for the survival of all the animals, including that of a bee, honeybee, right? Which is the most important part in the survival of the entire, animal food chain and everything. So the idea is, don't compare yourself to anybody else. Be who you are, and you will figure out ways. Don't break your head in figure out your ways, and be envious, but don't be jealous. Jealous means, why that person got it, I was more deserving. Envious means, I am very happy that that person get it, and they are doing great in their life. I would love them to get even more. But how do I ensure that I also make the most out of my life under the given circumstances I have now, right? And if you see in life of every one of us, we are much more blessed than many people in this world. So we should have a lot of gratitude for what we have. Once we learn to have gratitude, you will not have grudges. So gratitude removes grudges in life, right? So that is something which is very, very important. So be thankful to what you already have, right? The beautiful life that we are living, and try to make the most out of it. And if you are too stressed about yourself, go and give your service to the world. Feed a cow, hug a dog, hug a tree, rescue a dog, rescue some guinea pigs, go and pet some iguanas. You will find out how truly blessed you are. Put yourself into the service of human being, and you will be able to overcome this FOMO. So overcoming FOMO, the first and foremost thing is to know who you are really at the core and what you actually need, and keep a gratitude journal. Be happy for what you already have in your life, which is much more than most of the people in this world. And also put yourself into service of anything that you feel like, what appeals to you. And you will find out that the FOMO is gone in no time.
Perfect. Like having the gratitude of what we have, that it gives the best feeling. And there are many underprivileged people who doesn't have the basic necessities of life. So always we should look for the other side of the picture also, right, sir?
Absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely.
Yes, and just maybe one step ahead, I'm so excited. Like while talking with you, I wanted to know that what more we get from you. Like what are the future, things, project which you have kept in your mind, which you haven't really revealed as of now. Any more books coming out, any more poetry series, or something new which we can see. What is the thing?
They will come out for sure, probably. A few more might be on the pipeline. But what I can tell you is one secret that is going to come out very soon, and not many people are aware of it. Rather, most of the people are not aware of it, is that I have started my journey to become an Ikigai coach. And I would probably finish that off probably by next month. And then I can start on my coaching journey for Ikigai. And I felt that is very, very important in modern society and all the discussions we were having. And if I really want to do a good Mapia management practice, I have to counsel and convince the parents as well. And if I know the ways of Ikigai, I would probably be able to motivate them much better. So that's the new journey I'm on. You will soon see the certificate probably on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook as well. But that's again, if I can do it, you can do it as well. And today is a journey of our practice. In that journey of our practice we're in today, we require a lot of counseling. Counseling is something which is missing from our practice nowadays. And how to become an effective counselor, there are numerous ways. I just chose to be doing Ikigai, and that's the new thing that's going to come very soon.
Perfect. Is it something on the book based on Ikigai? I guess I still have here this book.
It's completely based on that book.
Based on this book, right?
Yes.
Great. Even I had fun reading this book. Like it teaches you how to eat, how to increase your longevity. So that is something fun.
And the basis of this book that we are speaking about is service. How do you provide yourself service to people? And this I can't probably reinforce again and again of service, because I'll tell you one small thing. There are around multiple ways of giving up on alcoholism or giving up on an addiction of drugs. You know what is the last stage of this? Is helping somebody who is having the same problem. So you only become alcohol free in your life when you help somebody, overcome their alcohol addiction.
Okay.
Similarly, if you want to get, addiction free from drugs, you have to help somebody to get them addiction free from drugs. So service is at the end of all of it. So if you know how to give service, you will have a very long, fruitful, and happy life. That's the basis of Ikigai as well.
Yes.
And if you see those 4 circles, service comes in one of those circles as how you can help the world. That's something which is very, very important. So yeah, I am on my path to discover my journey as a coach and as an Ikigai coach, and that will come shortly as well. But it's completely based on that book, rightly pointed by you.
Yes. I would love to be the first student to get a mentor from you, because I really needed that, I feel. That's great. It's so fun talking with you. I cannot see the time which we have discussed. And I guess here comes the end. So before we end up, I would request you, I would ask you that can you share some of the inputs to the young generations? Like you want to share some keynotes point with them?
I can say from my life only. The only thing is keep learning as much as you can. Keep changing as much as you can in a positive way. And look into the positivity of things. If you try to look into negativity, there is a lot of negativity. If you try to look into positivity, there is a huge sphere of positivity to look into. Yes. Choice is something which is very, very important, and choose to be positive and you will do wonders in life. We need good optometrists in India. We need good optometrists in the world. And I am so thankful to all of them because they have chosen this path of optometry. And of course, we're all colleagues. We will meet sometime. I will learn a lot of things from you as well over a period of time as we embark on this journey. But be positive. That's something which is very, very important. And be open to change and keep on learning. Your learning does not end with optometry school. It just starts. And probably at the deathbed it ends. So start doing that as well. And that's why it's called as a practice, no? You have to do it every day. That's why it's a practice. We call it as a practice, optometry practice, clinical practice.
Yes.
And so that's the only thing that they should keep in mind, and be extremely positive and hopeful about life. Because if you manifest positivity and hopefulness, it will come to your life in multiple folds. So be positive and be very, very hopeful about a great life that you're going to have.
Great. I am actually out of my words right now that how much I have gained from this short discussion which we had. But with that, I just wanted to say a big thank you for taking out the time, for sharing your guidance, sharing your thoughts with us. It's a very valuable lessons we got from this short video. So thank you so much for sharing, sir. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me, Monan. Thank you so much for this. This was a surprise for me that you would love to have a chat with me. I was so honored, so privileged to be on this chat with you. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you.